Yeah, feel good.
Okay, T, what, I know it's not about awards, but what's it like to see you and Nyjah win Big 12 honors this week?
I think it's great. I think we both deserve it. We work off the field and on the field, but I think we both showed what we needed to this last weekend, and I think we both deserve it.
How do you think you guys handled this portion of the non-conference slate going into the Big 12 play this weekend?
And I think we handled it well. I think we're ready for Big 12 to start finally. So,
Coach said that he thinks you guys should hit 5, 6, 7 home runs a game. Is that been conveyed to you guys on a regular basis?
yeah, I mean, obviously we all want to hit home runs, but I mean, it's all about just scoring runs. So if the home run comes, then it comes.
Saying that, joking kind of, but I mean, you guys don't really give up that many runs. I mean, what's the benefit of run rolling people the way you guys have? Obviously, for your arms, I would imagine, or at least just in general, it's better to obviously not pitch a couple extra innings a game.
No, yeah, that's always our goal. The less pitches that we have to throw is the best. I mean, getting it done in 5 innings is our goal every game.
What have you done this year differently than the past, and how do you feel like you've improved so far?
I think I've improved insanely just working with Jerry. Hitting wise, it's been amazing. I think just kind of being myself here is something that I did different than like my past years. Just kind of also trusting my defense behind me.
What has impressed you about this team the first few weeks here?
It's been insane. The hitting is amazing, and just knowing that being on the mound that we have an amazing defense behind me, that I don't have to do it all myself, that my defense behind me will get it done as well.
And how easy is it on the arms when you have multiple arms that can go up and no hit a team?
Yeah, no, it's amazing having Nyjah, Sam, and even Chloe coming in. It's amazing just to have that arsenal behind everybody, that it's not just one person that has to do it.
Is there a pitch that you're working on that you still haven't mastered yet?
Yeah, I think drop ball is probably the biggest pitch that I'm working on right now. You've seen it a lot the past few games, but I think it's something that could get better.
Do you prefer the 9-hole or the 2-hole in the lineup?
Honestly, I mean, I was obviously in the 9-hole all the time, and I mean, in the lineup, it doesn't really matter as long as you're hitting it. To me, it's just you're in the lineup. So
When you have weekends like this where you just kind of demolish and run rule everybody, how is it the focus of not getting complacent and satisfied with what you guys are doing from this game, knowing there's a lot more ahead?
yeah, just honestly, just keep working. This is something we knew we should be doing, is run ruling teams. I think just getting back to work today and then getting ready for Houston. Just keep working.
On that note, what stands out to you the most about Houston?
Probably I heard about their hitting's pretty good. I really haven't looked much at Houston, haven't really ever played them, so I just heard about their hitting's pretty good. So yeah.
How many no-hitters have you had during your college career?
Oh, I have no clue.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah, I don't know.
that's a good problem to have, not knowing them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To be done with the preseason and ready to move into conference play. I think to be 22-1, we'd like to be 23-0, but I guess when you look at it, to be 22-1, we're in a good spot. I was really excited to be at home. I want to thank the fans for coming out and making it such a great weekend to play at a packed stadium with a loud crowd, and then all the amenities and the souped up stadium, just beautiful. The lights, the sound system, seeing the fans up under the shade on a hot day, it was really good. And then especially I want to thank the student body. We had great turnout from the fraternities, sororities, and the student body here all weekend. That was really fun and exciting for our team and our program. As far as the weekend games, I thought we had really good pitching all weekend. I thought that our hitters were really good. I thought we put on we did a really good job of sticking to the game plan this week of picking out good pitches and driving the ball. By getting a good pitch, we were able to hit a little harder and a little farther. And then I thought that we didn't just get the lead and let up. I thought we got the lead and then continued to score more runs and I thought we maintained our focus better than in some of the earlier games of the season. So overall, I thought we ended the preseason in a good way. I feel really good going into conference play.
Jerry, over the weekend, you said that you thought your team should hit 5, 6, 7 home runs a game. Does that mean what is your feeling about how often you should run rule teams, if that's the case?
Yeah, I don't know about the run rules. I don't know how it depends on just the circumstances. But this team is capable of hitting more than 2 home runs a game, and what I want them to realize is they can hit 3 or 4 home runs and not be anywhere near as good as they should have been. And if you hit pitches outside the strike zone, you may hit 300, 350. They're capable of doing that because they're talented enough athletes to, even when they pick bad pitches, to hit a high average, but they won't hit the ball far. They won't hit out of the park. And I noticed, I was looking this morning, of the 19 home runs, every single one of them was in the strike zone or on the very fringe edge of the strike zone. There wasn't any pitch that was 6 inches outside or 4 inches outside or 4 inches out of the strike zone in any direction that we hit for a home run. Everything was right in the middle of the strike zone or right at the edge of the strike zone. And so I think that's a good lesson for us to learn going into conferences. Let's be selective. On 0-2 going into the weekend, we were hitting 067 for the year. And this weekend we hit 667. And mainly we just didn't swing. We didn't chase 0-2 pitches. We stayed calm and let the pitcher throw balls if she wanted to. And if she did throw a strike, we hit it. And so I thought that was a big progression. We're growing up and we're getting more mature as hitters.
Is some of that just like fine tuning? Like we can hit home runs if we swing it, pitches out of the strike zone a little bit. Is that just kind of part of the not getting complacent when you can have games where it kind of gets out of hand in your favor, sort of thing?
Yeah, I think that understanding what you do good is very important in every aspect of the game. I think pitchers obviously have to know what their most effective pitch is to get a swing and miss, and what they can get outs with when they just want to get quick outs. Defensive players need to know their game and what they're good at, whether they're good at coming in on a ball or going back. And hitters have to really recognize, am I a high ball hitter? Am I a low ball hitter? Am I a fastball hitter or am I a changeup hitter? The more they understand about what they do well and what they don't do well, and then play to their strengths, the more successful they're going to be.
Did you foresee Caitlin being a near 600 hitter at this point in the season when she first got here?
Caitlin Terry?
Yeah.
Caitlin Terry's worked so hard. She's having success. I guess when you see a great athlete like her that comes in, you're never totally surprised by the success of great athletes like her. But I would have lost a lot of. Well, I'm not. That's not a good statement, but it's shocking to me that she's batting over 500, and I wouldn't have expected that.
What are your thoughts, Coach, on Houston? They've had some common opponents that you guys have played as well this season, had some good wins, but also had some downs. What do you think about them heading into the series?
I think that Houston's made a lot of improvement this year. They had a really good weekend going into this really good record going into the last weekend. And they played a little bit tougher competition, and it got them a little bit. And I think they're going to be a formidable opponent. It'll be the opening weekend of conference for them, so it's going to be a new start for them. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be at home. But it's really about us playing against ourselves, playing to our capabilities. And if we play to our capabilities, we shouldn't lose a game. We should win every game this year that we play to our fullest potential. And so that's what I want to make it about. I want to make it about us competing with ourselves to reach our peak performance.
You mentioned on Sunday you guys might have been tired that last game after playing 5-6 games in a 3-4 day span. How much different is it just focusing on 3 games in a series?
It should be easier. It should be easier to maintain your intensity and your focus for 3 games over 3 days than it is for 6 games over 4 days. But I think the maturity of a ball club is, you have to learn to, whatever the obstacle, whatever the circumstances, how can I give my best effort? And, North Texas is a pretty scrappy ball club, and I thought the girl threw a good game. But, we might have let some mental fatigue step in there and get into our effectiveness that we shouldn't allow. And we want to be sure this weekend we go all out 21 innings of our best focus and our best approach.
You talk about 21 innings. You haven't had to press, in the preseason, as you call it. What did the non-conference show you about this team, and what do you still think that this team has to grow with?
I don't think we're anywhere near our potential. I think we can get we can be a completely stronger ball club. And I think the conference is going to be really important to test us and help us to learn, to push us to reach our potential. And, no doubt the scouting, when you play a conference game, the scouting preparation by that opponent is at a whole nother level. So Houston's coaches will have, scouted our ball club and prepared their team for our players better than any coaching staff of the year so far. And likewise, we will of them. It'll be our most prepared moment. So I think there's a whole lot of things that go into conference play that it'll like where they pitch our hitters will tell our hitters where they need to work next week in batting practice. And our pitchers will realize quickly they can hit the spots that they need to hit on their batters. So the conference plays a really critical piece, and the Big 12 Conference is a great softball conference, so it's going to play a key role.
What do you believe that this team still needs to improve on for you to go through the conference where you want to be?
No, I think we're going to get better in every area. Our defense had been stellar all season, and then we saw a little bit of setback this weekend and didn't feel quite as crisply as we had. I'd like to see us get back to the highest level of defense that we've been playing. I thought our pitching was good, but we missed Sam Lincoln, and I'd like to see Sam get back out there and get her back involved this weekend. Nyjah has gotten better, I think, every week. I think we've seen her get better each week of the season. I have no doubt she's going to continue to do that. I think that's a result of a good rest this fall that she got, and she came into the season very rested. But there's some when you rest, you get a little rust, and so I'm really excited about seeing her develop over these next few weeks. And then I think Caitlin Terry, she's in a new program, new coaching staff. I think that her and Coach Tara, the pitch calling and working together, I think they're getting to know each other better. I have no doubt that Tara can effectively call pitches for her better the more she sees and the more she works with her. And I think on the offensive side, we're just going to keep getting better. We haven't learned. We just got our signals in. 2 weeks ago we couldn't give a hit and run effectively. We got to where the first 2 weeks was like anything we did, hit and run, steal and cover, squeeze, bunt, whatever it was, hit or miss on the signals. We've executed almost flawlessly the last 2 weekends, and I think that'll just keep getting better. And I'm starting to understand the strengths of each player. Which ones are good on the hit and run, which ones we don't need to do that with, which ones can pull the ball effectively, which ones go the other way the best. So I think as we get to know our roster even better, we'll get better on the offensive side.
Speaking of the roster, you said at the beginning of the season you were going to have places where you have players that you would normally sit. How is your management of the egos and the bench gone as you hit to a point of the season where you're going to have to be on?
Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy to be a player that's played your whole life at the junior high, high school, college level, and now all of a sudden you're on a roster where you don't have to play every day. You still have to play. You still need to play at a high level when you play, and your expectation if you're a successful player is to always play at a high level. But then when you're in an unfamiliar position or an unfamiliar situation, that's not easy, and it's just tricky, and we're learning as we go. And there's nothing anybody can do about that. We just got to keep going. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, this roster's deep, and so there's always going to be great players resting on any given day, and that means that there's a great player that's out of the game that probably wants to be in the game, and probably isn't the most comfortable player. Watching a game from the bench when they're more comfortable or more normal to them would be watching a game from in between the foul lines. But that's not unique to our program. That's totally 100% the same with every top 3 or 4 program in the country.
Speaking of that, do you have an update on Alana going into the weekend?
Yeah, we just got back. I just got a report about an hour ago from the trainer. Much better than what we anticipated. It's still going to be day to day. We're going to reevaluate it, and the doctor's going to reevaluate her in about a week to 10 days, and just see kind of where she's at, and then we'll go from there. But it's not, it's not a long-term situation as of now. We'll look at it again in a few days, and then we'll go from there.
KT made some comments about batting in the 9-hole. Is that something that you envision at the start, or is there more like an ideal spot for her whenever she's in the lineup?
And
From
Caitlin?
From a hitting standpoint.
Yeah. Well, she was so good in the 9-hole. I kept thinking, I hate to move her. I hate to move her out of the 9-hole. She's turning the line. You want somebody in the 9-hole that turns over the lineup and that gets on base for your leadoff to be behind, and then obviously your 3-hole becomes a cleanup hitter for the 9-hole. And so, you got Caitlin here, she's hitting 480, 470, and I can't move her. I just hate to move her. And then she just keeps hitting. So finally, I'm like, well, how long can I afford it? Now she's up to 520, 530. I'm going to put her in the 2-hole and just see what happens. And I did. I put her in a 2-hole, and she just kept on hitting again this weekend. So I'll probably just leave her there. It's pretty neat having her and Davis, 2 500 hitters, in those 2 positions, and that sets up really well with Mia right there at the 500 or 450 mark. I don't know where she's at, but somewhere real close to that 500 mark. And then Taylor Panel is second or third on our team in RBIs and a 4-hole behind her. So the truth is, if you're hitting like she's hitting, you can hit anywhere in the order and look really good. And I'll be happy with her anywhere as long as she's hitting like she is. And she's just been an unbelievable player for us all year.
Maya, I think, at least going into Sunday, was leading the nation in steals. I'm assuming she is, just looking at the girls behind her. Yeah, I mean, obviously she can do it anytime she wants to, but is there a part of you, I know you're aggressive running on the bases, but is there a part of you knowing that with Caitlin batting 2-hole, she could get a hit in the gap and Maya's going to score anyway?
Yeah, like the first week or so, I think actually the first 2 weeks, I was like not stealing Maya. I don't need to steal her. We don't need to take a chance on the injury. And then I read someone on a message board, like, Davis isn't stealing bases like she used to, and I thought, that could have hurt her on All-American. I want her to be sure she's an All-American her senior year. People don't think she's as fast as she used to be. That's not right. I'm going to let her run. I'll let her run for a couple weeks and show people what she can do. So she literally has gone from 0 to 20 in a heartbeat, and she's just an amazing player. I don't know how anybody can watch that kid play and not. To me, it's obvious she's the best center fielder in the country. She's the best leadoff hitter in the country. I don't think anybody else can compete with her either of those things. And I just wanted to let her run and let her play free. That's kind of what we did her freshman year. She was the Golden Spikes Award winner her freshman year in Louisiana, stole 52 bases. And I basically, every time she got first, stole her. And usually on the first pitch. And that's kind of what we did here the last 2 weeks. I won't keep doing that because she's too valuable to our ball club to risk injury like that. And so I don't need her stolen base numbers to be what they could be. But I thought I would let the kind of the softball community and the softball world see, like, hey, she can still fly, and she's still a very special athlete. She's just having to give some of it up for her team. And been fun to watch, though.
Thanks, Coach.